When you open Misquoting Jesus, you realize that what we have believed for thousands of years as the Holy Word may never have been exactly what we thought. Bart D. Ehrman takes us into the hidden world of the Gospel manuscripts, where thousands of different versions exist, and none are exactly alike. The differences are sometimes small, a missing letter, an added word, or even a misplaced period. Yet these tiny changes can completely alter the meaning of a sentence or teaching. Imagine a sentence about forgiveness or faith losing a single word and changing its entire meaning. The truth is, there are thousands of small and large variations between manuscripts that even a professional scholar cannot fully examine. Some changes are accidental, natural mistakes made by scribes, but some are intentional. Scribes sometimes wanted to clarify the text, align a teaching with social conditions, or even alter the message for a specific group's advantage. The result of these changes is what millions of people read today, a human-made and evolving version of the text. Ehrman provides careful, real examples. A sentence about forgiveness might be missing in one manuscript, giving it a completely different meaning. A phrase about the divinity of Christ might be added, presenting him in a completely different light. No gospel manuscript today is the original or untouched version. Imagine thousands of manuscripts across the world, each with minor or sometimes major differences, being copied line by line. Scribes sat in dark rooms by candlelight, ink on animal skins, spending hours transcribing. Some made mistakes, some corrected them, and some changed things out of faith or bias, without knowing how profoundly these changes would affect future generations. A real example: in one manuscript, a word about forgiveness was deleted, changing the meaning of the sentence. In another, a phrase was added, portraying Christ as far more divine. Each of these changes shaped people's perception and understanding of Christ and his teachings. Ehrman emphasizes that these changes are not limited to one version or location. Thousands of manuscripts exist around the world, each with multiple differences. No version can be accepted as the original because they all reflect human perspectives, errors, and interpretations. Even the main characters of the Gospels, like Peter and John, were affected by these changes. A sentence about Peter's role in the church appears in some manuscripts and is altered in others. These differences influenced how interpreters and disciples in each era understood history and faith. Ehrman shows that changes were not only about words or sentences, but also about core teachings and key messages. Some changes favored people's faith, others aligned with political or social conditions of the time. But the result is that the gospel text is alive and evolving, not fixed and unchangeable. When we accept this truth, we realize that reading the gospel today is a complex experience. We are encountering a text shaped, altered, rewritten, and sometimes distorted by humans over thousands of years. This text is both a story of faith and a story of human error, both divine teachings and human limitations. Misquoting Jesus forces us to re-examine the Gospels and the history of Christianity. The book shows that even what we believe is original and sacred is the result of thousands of human choices, mistakes, and rewritings. Every sentence, every word, every period can have a different meaning, shaping how we perceive Christ in his message. Ehrman takes us on a fascinating journey into the world of scribes, manuscripts, and different versions, where the gospel is not a dry, lifeless work, but a living human document. He provides real examples, highlights differences, and raises questions that challenge even our deepest beliefs. You can no longer read the gospel as you always have, passively and without thought. Every page, every sentence, every small change tells a story of human effort, error, faith, and interpretation. This book forces us to ask what in the holy text is truly original and what is the product of human hands. Every small change, every rewriting, every correction has shaped the meaning of the text in the image of Christ for millions of people. Reading this book is like opening a door to the past, where every candlelight reveals the secrets and mistakes of humans. Ehrman demonstrates that the gospel text is not a fixed work, but a collection of human efforts that span thousands of years. Each manuscript, each version, presents a different perspective on faith, history, and humanity. When you grasp this truth, you can no longer accept the holy text as simply as before. You are facing a work that reflects both divine teachings and human limitations. This book does not only examine the history of manuscripts, but raises serious questions about faith, textual accuracy, and our understanding of Christ. Every reader is compelled to reconsider their perspective on the Gospels and their messages. Ehrman, with detailed examples, textual differences, and shocking analyses, immerses us in an unknown world where the gospel is not fixed but alive and dynamic. He shows that even small differences can completely change meanings. A deleted or added phrase has shaped generations' understanding. This means reading the gospel today is simultaneously a study of history, humanity, and faith. Every manuscript has its own story, a story of error, effort, bias, and faith. Ehrman, by examining these examples, demonstrates that no gospel version is untouched by human influence. Reading this book forces you to question beliefs and information you have always trusted. Even fundamental perceptions of Christ and his teachings may need to be reevaluated. Minor differences, small changes, and human corrections have shaped the overall image of Christ and his message. This reality makes reading the gospel no longer simple or linear, but a complex, thrilling experience full of philosophical and historical questions. Through real examples, textual differences, and precise analyses, Ehrman presents a vision of the gospel that few expect. He shows that the holy text is the product of thousands of years of human effort, error, and correction.